Welcome back, grade 12s. We are now completing our series for final examination preparation for paper 1 that we just written tomorrow on Monday. And the video that I uploaded prior this one today, I did unpack concepts of question 5. Now I'm just going to take you through the Northwest paper to conclude now our series preparation for paper 1. And then we are going to start again with the correction of errors, as I've already made you aware in our predictions and discussions of concepts of question 5. We did mention that you should expect the first question to be around correcting errors, and I did advise that please go through the previous videos. I've made a playlist. I've created a playlist for paper 1. There's a video there that shows you and unpacks tips, if not the principles and the nuggets on how to nail this first question of question 5. Correct. Please make sure that you read the text prior, because even from the text itself, you can be able to identify errors, because these errors are actually deduced from the text above. I'm not going to go through the text. Make sure that you read the sentences. Please don't just rush through them, so that you can be able to pick up the errors and use the 4 principles, if not the 4 steps that I've told you. Check tense, check spelling, check concord, check punctuation of all, the use of an apostrophe mark. You might have heard of the tense, white and brown noise, but did you know there's also pink noise? When I read it, all the words flow. It means I don't have a concord error, but when I look at the word there's not how you write it. So the error here is supposed to be, it's supposed to be this, like this, or alternatively you can write it in full without punctuating it or contracting it. We can say there is, and then there's your error. Several videos has recently been on social media. For you to pick up a concord error, please read the sentences out. Then you should be able to hear. If the sentence does not flow, automatically know that that is a concord error. It means one word here is actually incorrect, which makes the sentence not to retain meaning. Several videos has recently been on social media. I believe you can hear, as in when I read the sentence, that the sentence doesn't flow. So it means I have a concord error. Instead of saying has, and remember you're talking about videos, it can be has, it's supposed to be what? Have. So the error here, it was concord. And then sentence 3, they have frequencies of sound waves that travel through air, water, and ground. Now, the error here is spelling. This is not how we write the word through. It's supposed to be through, like this. And then that's how you correct error. And then D, other sounds can help you rest, focus, and sleep better. And then you see what I want to teach you, grade 12, for tomorrow's paper. When you are in a haste and you are just reading or rushing through these sentences, you are going to frustrate yourself and find yourself not in a position to correct errors. But if you can follow the 4 steps that I have explicitly, if not, I have unpacked to the latter in the videos where I show you how to correct errors, you should be able to look closely into each and every word. For an example, when you read the last sentence where you are supposed to correct errors, other sounds can help you rest, focus, and sleep better. You just read quickly. But if you check closely, you'll realize that this is not how you spell better. So indeed, the error here, it was what? It was spelling. So you realize that my tips are actually accurate. So either the error might be concord in terms of words agreement, or spelling, or the use of punctuation, or even tense. So that is how you will collect the first 4 marks tomorrow in your English FAL paper 1 final examination. Correct. As discussed in our prediction videos, we should expect a question around the joining of sentences. And please be mindful, this was the Northwest paper for preparatory examination 2023. Be mindful of how or the manner in which examiners guide you. They say you must join the following sentences. Pink noise refers to constant background noise. Pink noise soothes people to sleep faster. And then you are guided here to say begin with not only. Please take note of such. Don't just start with any or start or write the sentence like you please. Please allow yourself to be guided by the examiner. So we know that the rule that we don't need to repeat the subject of the sentence. We already have pink noise here, and we also have pink noise here. So when we join them into one, there's no need for us to repeat pink noise. Now let us join the sentences, starting with taking the direction that is given by the examiner, starting with what not only. Okay, so the response it will be not only does pink noise refer to constant background noise, and as guided in the previous video, make a comma and then introduce now your conjunction and a pronoun to substitute the subject, but it also soothes people to sleep, then that is your second mark. Please make sure that you do justice to the joining of these sentences. Rewrite the following sentence in the present continuous tense. I said whenever you are asked about tense, what you therefore need to look for is to look for a verb in a sentence, and that is where now you are going to effect the changes, because you only change the verb in such a way that you play around with the tense. Brown or red noise refers to rumbling sounds. This is in a simple present tense because it says what refers. We are guided by this verb to know that the sentence is in a simple present tense, and then now you're supposed to change it into a present continuous tense, meaning that present progressive tense, meaning that the action is still continuous, and we indeed identify this tense when the verb ends with the ing. So what you need to do therefore in this sentence is very simple, is that brown or red noise is referring. So you change this to become is referring, and then please, technicalities of question 5, please make sure that your spelling is correct, because remember this question deals with language use. So is referring to rumbling side. So we are going to look at the changes of the verb, and indeed it changed from a simple present tense, to a present continuous tense as guided by the question. Then give the singular form of the underlined word in the following sentence. Again, when you get questions of this nature, please ensure that your spelling is intact, because this is question 5 where we are dealing with the use of language. After writing a response, I will always advise that tomorrow just revisit your response quickly and verify that it is indeed correct. So if you don't want to say frequencies in a singular form, it becomes what? Frequency. Let us move on. Right, and you had, as I've already stated in our predictions and scope for question 5, you must expect questions on question tag, and you read the sentence. Don't forget, if the statement is positive, the question tag becomes negative. If the statement is negative, the question tag becomes positive. And then you must also circle the auxiliary word that you will use to formulate the question tag. However, I did make you aware that you can come across statements or sentences that do not have auxiliary verbs that you can use to formulate question tags. Pink noise refers to constant background noise. Complete the following. Write down only the missing words. So we do not have any words that we can use. What therefore you need to check is to check the tense I have shown you in the prediction video. Please revisit that one before you can revise with this one. Pink noise refers to constant background noise. So if it says refers, this is a simple present tense. So it means that we are going to use the word doesn't it question mark, or you can say does it not to formulate it into a negative. Does it not question mark, then you collect your mark. We mentioned that you must also expect questions around the parts of speech which are functions of words in a sentence. You will be given a sentence with words that are underlined, and then you'll be asked to identify the underlined part of speech. This soothes the people to sleep faster and for longer period. Now, the word for connects the noun, what is being spoken about in the sentence, with the rest of the sentence. So indeed, this becomes your preposition. Mostly all the small words are prepositions. And then periods, what kind of periods? Longer one. So the word longer describes the kind of periods, and all the words that are describing, we call them adjectives. So you see what I've done. I've checked how the words are used in a sentence, and then I've verified their function, and then ultimately came up with the correct part of speech. Now, a reported speech. Please check the video for revision of rules before you can come to this question 5 for practice purposes. White noise is made up of all the frequencies that can be heard by the human ear, said the scientist. You are guided by the mark allocation. If it's 3 marks, it means that you must effect 2 changes, and then the bonus mark that you are going to get the bonus mark for omission of quotation marks and the right punctuation. Now, I did mention that you must be mindful of universal facts that cannot be changed into a past tense, rightfully, because the reporting verb is in a past tense. We would expect that whatever that you are going to report must be in a past tense, meaning that is was supposed to change to become was, and then of course can changes to become could. However, the statement is unique because it's a universal fact, it's a scientific fact. So if it's a scientific fact, you leave it as it is in the present tense. The scientist said that, white noise is, you still get a mark for is, and then can, and then please ensure that your full stop is visible, because you do get a mark for punctuation. So I would say that I know that most learners in the Northwest converted this sentence into a past tense. For example, stating that is was, and then can change it to become could, which is wrong, because this statement is a universal fact. It's a scientific fact. So when should you come across sentences of this nature where now you are dealing with facts, please do not change them. Leave them as it is, or leave the statement as it is in the present tense. You will still get marks accordingly. And then in 5.2.1, a success candidate is one who studies hard. And I did mention that when you are asked to correct the form of word in bracket, mostly what you need to do is just to add the suffix to the word so that the sentence makes sense. So it's supposed to be a successful candidate is one who studies hard. And then degree of comparison, we spoke about it in our prediction lesson. The sooner you begin to learn, not the gooder. Please, we don't have such. It's supposed to be the better. Then you study following sentences. Now, this is what I spoke about in our predictions when we were talking about homonyms, that you'll be given a homonym in a sentence of its own in the question paper. What therefore you need to do is not to recycle, if not to repeat the same function as stated in the question paper. When things go tough, you have to bear it with patience. So this is something that you need to do. You need to bear. It's more like a verb here, right? However, this means that you need to come up with bear in a form of a noun. Remember, homonyms, the sound is the same, the spelling is the same, but the meanings are different. So I can say, I saw a huge bear. So now here, I'm naming an animal that I saw. So the function here is indeed a noun, and there it was a verb. So please be mindful of that. If not, if you are still struggling with that, please check my prediction videos as well as my playlist on various concepts of paper 1. I do discuss homonyms and homophones there. And then changing statement from positive to negative. The candidates will do well when they persevere. So this is positive, as we are simply going to say they will not do well, right? And then changing the following sentences into active and passive voice. Candidates should always set goals to study effectively. Identify subject who's performing the action here is candidate subject. The action that they are performing is to set. What are they setting? They are setting goals. So therefore goals becomes our object. Then you are going to start your sentence with the object. And then please, I said you commit errors in this section because you forget to check tense. So they always set it in a present tense. So goals should be set by candidates to study what effectively. That's how you change active to passive. Again, you can check the playlist for revision and the rules to revise the rules. Let us go to the last segment of question 5, revision and correction for Northwest paper, preparatory paper. And the last question was choose the correct answer to complete the following sentence. Don't give up on your dreams. Your determination will lead you to success. That's the motivation for tomorrow, okay? And the rest of your examination. The underlined part of the word in this sentence is an example of A or N. We discussed this in our prediction and scope for question 5. So if any word is added towards the end of the word, indeed, this is C. This is what A suffix. And that's how you collect your 20 marks in tomorrow's paper. Thank you.